Hey there, this is Coach Steve from Trench Training, and today I want to talk about dealing with a loss in football. This past weekend, we've kind of seen the gamut of emotions in football games. We're in the third week of the high school season. We're in the first week of the college football season. I know some of the kids that we've coached in Trench Training, that a couple of those teams that had some difficult losses, some controversial calls, but it can be really difficult to deal with any loss. It can also be difficult to deal with a win, but today we're going to focus on losses. And I just want to talk about some of the lessons we can learn from a loss, because losing sucks. There's no other way to say it. It's horrible. It's terrible. I hate to lose anything. And dealing with a loss can really show some things about a person, about a player, and about a team. And I just want to go through a few of the lessons that you need to learn about losses that are going to allow you to grow and have more wins, because we learn from our losses, and we learn most from losing, not from winning. So the first thing is to understand that a loss is going to reveal a person's character. Okay, we're going to see what a person's made of when things are going badly. When things are going good and there's wins, it's really easy, to be a football player. It can be really difficult when you have to face losses. And I think we saw that in the Wisconsin game. I'm a huge Wisconsin Badger fan. Obviously, Coach Glenn and I both played there. And to see in that game the Badgers upset LSU, and I think you can see the ultimate frustration at the very end of that game when the offensive lineman from LSU throws a cheap shot on one of the Badgers and really could have hurt him. But you see a buildup of frustration from the loss of a game. And we all feel that way when we lose. I think if you have any passion for the game, you're going to feel that way. It's how you act on that that's going to determine what kind of player you are and what kind of character you have. I feel for that kid. I think he made a huge mistake, obviously, but I know emotions run high in football. That's just the way it is, and it can be difficult when you have frustration and a loss, when you have high expectations, because I think we all have high expectations. The other thing that I think you can learn is to keep those emotions in check. You never want to get too high with a loss. You never want to get too high with a win. And you never want to get too high or too low with a loss. So you have to kind of keep an even keel when you're on a team and when you're playing any sport, and you have to realize that you have to have a short memory. You can't let those losses linger. You can't let those wins linger, because you're going to have another game. Unless it's your last game of the season, you've got to have a really short memory about what happened last week so that you can move on to the next week. So really focus on what you've got coming up and what's going on in the future, and really limit your time to how much you spend on thinking about that win or loss. The other thing is you're going to learn about what kind of teammate you are and what kind of teammates you have on your team. It's really easy to point fingers, and it happens all the time. It happens throughout life, not just in sports, but that's something you just can't do when you're an athlete. You can't do that as a part of a football team. Football is the ultimate team sport. It takes 11 guys to play at any one time, and everybody has a job, everybody has a role. We talked about roles last week, and I think you need to understand and have an appreciation for what everybody else does, and you need to be there to pick them up. No one player is going to be responsible solely for the win or loss of a game. It won't happen, I promise you. You can say, our kicker missed a field goal with 3 seconds left from 10 yards out. Really? What happened the other, 50 minutes or 47 minutes of a game that could have led up to you not needing that field goal at the end? You know, there are a lot of plays you can look back in any game and see plays that if they go one way or another, the game is different. And it involves all of us, not just one player. So be a good teammate and be there to pick your teammates up and not point fingers, because if you start pointing fingers, you're dooming your team to not have success. I guarantee it. Another thing, and the last one I'm going to talk about, is realize why you lost. All right, when you go into film sessions, when you talk to your coaches, make sure you understand the reason why you lost a game. Is it because the other team was just more talented? Is it because you didn't execute and the other team did? Is it because of a lack of effort? You know, that's the one that are going to drive coaches crazy. And honestly, it drives everybody crazy when you see a lack of effort. So you need to know why you lost so you can make corrections and learn. You need to always be learning, always trying to get better, because our losses, what we learn from our losses, can help us become winners. It can help us win championships. Losing is not a bad thing, all right? It's not a good thing, but it's something that's going to happen, all right? Very few teams go undefeated. I don't know any players personally that have ever not lost a football game before. At some level or another, they've lost a football game. I mean, we saw 3 top 10 teams lose this last weekend in college football, and none of those teams were supposed to lose. So everybody loses games. It's how you deal with them. It's what you learn from them. It's what you can make from that loss that's going to make you a champion and make you a winner. So I hope this advice helps. If it did, please like, comment, and share. Also, make sure that you have a membership on Trench Training. We have a free membership. There's a ton of content in there. We're going to be building that as we go. But get signed up. We have a private Facebook group with private training for our members only, so make sure you get in there. Thanks for stopping by today. Until next time, bye for now, and play big.